Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. I begin with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you are fine and enjoying your studies. This is lecture number 28 of the course Biometabolism, and I am Dr. Saima Naz. This is lecture number 2 of our continuous topic biosynthesis of purine. We will discuss in this lecture about nucleotide biosynthesis, or the procedure of the synthesis of purines inside the biological organisms. I welcome all of you in this lecture with the prayer Rabbi Zidni Ilma, my Lord increase me in knowledge. Before going to detailed topic, I want to repeat a quote which was of Linus Pauling, stated in 1953 that the formation of DNA structure by Watson and Crick may turn out to be the greatest developments in the field of molecular genetics in recent years. With the discovery of DNA structure by Watson and Crick, Linus Pauling in 1953 stated that with the discovery of the DNA structure by Watson and Crick opened a new horizon for the development in the genetic structure or for further research in the DNA structure. It was greatest development in the field of molecular genetics in coming years, and his statement was absolutely correct. In coming years, then after the discovery of the structure of DNA, later the synthesis of nucleotides and many aspects of DNA or genetic material was open, and the molecular genetics actually developed in the era after the discovery of DNA structure by Watson and Crick. The key concepts of this lecture are about the synthesis of purines. In last lecture, we have discussed the two pathways of nucleotide biosynthesis. In current lecture, we will discuss the remaining part of de novo synthesis of purine, salvage pathway of the synthesis of purines, and in de novo pathway for the synthesis of purine, we will discuss synthesis of inosine monophosphate, which is the precursor of adenine and guanine nucleotides, and later we will discuss the synthesis of adenine and guanine from inosine monophosphate. At the end, we will discuss the salvage pathway of purine synthesis. These are our objectives of learning from this lecture. So we'll start from purine and pyrimidine synthesis general overview. Both purines and pyrimidines are two classes of nucleotides in the cells. Dear students, we very well know that both purines and pyrimidines are two classes of nucleotides in the cells. The primary function of nucleotide is to act as the building blocks of DNA and RNA. The building blocks of cells, there are building blocks of DNA and RNA that are nucleotides. There are two types of purines, like adenine and guanine, that are present in the cells, and there are three types of pyrimidines that are present in DNA and RNA are thymine, cytosine, and uracil. In RNA, there is uracil present, whereas uracil is absent in DNA. Apart their role of genetic information storage, nucleotides also serves different functions in the cells. The main purpose or the primary purpose of nucleotides is the synthesis of DNA and RNA, or the storage of genetic information, but they also serve many different purposes, such as they act as energy carriers of the cells, like adenosine triphosphate and guanine triphosphate. Dear students, we know that ATP is the energy carrying molecule, and it is consumed as well as it is produced in various biometabolic pathways inside the human beings or inside the living beings, like in photosynthesis, in respiration, in catabolism and anabolism, adenosine triphosphate is utilized as well as produced. It as a carrier of energy. It provides us energy for performance of our daily duties. Similarly, guanine triphosphate also is the co-nucleotide that help in functioning of adenosine triphosphate. There are various components of coenzymes like nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide (NAD) and flavone adenine dinucleotide or FAD. These both are the components of coenzymes. Coenzymes are parts of the enzyme. You can say they help or assist the enzyme for proper functioning for or the proper catalytic function of catalytic function for the synthesis or for performance of various other duties. In chemical reactions, enzymes act as catalysts. They speed up the chemical reactions. These chemical reactions might be the biological chemical reactions occurred inside the human beings, or they might be in vivo or in vitro biological or biochemical reactions. Coenzyme assist the enzyme for their catalytic activity, and two types of coenzyme are nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide and flavonine adenine dinucleotide. Both are nucleotides and they work as the or they perform the function of coenzymes. Similarly, there are nucleotides that help in signal transduction. For example, CAMP and CGMP, carrier adenosine monophosphate and carrier guanine monophosphate, both act as second messengers. Both help out in signal transduction. So, apart their role of genetic information storage, nucleotides also serves different functions in the cells. Ample study of nucleotide is very essential for all the cellular processes. In this lecture, we will discuss the biosynthesis or pathway of nucleotides in easy and enjoyable way. In last lecture, we have discussed the synthesis of purine and de novo pathway of the synthesis of purine. In current lecture, we will also discuss the remaining part of de novo synthesis and salvage pathway of the synthesis of purine. In de novo synthesis biochemical pathway, de novo synthesis is a biochemical pathway where nucleotides are synthesized new from simple precursor molecules. In salvage pathway, it is used to recover bases and nucleosides formed during the degradation of RNA and DNA. Both pathways are important for the synthesis of nucleotides. This is the map or flowchart diagram of the synthesis of purine as well as pyrimidine. Both purines and pyrimidines are synthesized from de novo pathway and salvage pathway. First of all, we will start from nucleotide biosynthesis. There are two pathways: de novo synthesis pathway and salvage pathway of synthesis of purines and pyrimidines. In de novo synthesis, both purine and pyrimidines are synthesized. Pyrimidines like UMP, DUMP, UTP, CTP, and DTTP are synthesized, and purine like adenosine monophosphate, AMP, GMP, ATP, and GTP are synthesized. Similarly, in salvage pathway, both purines and pyrimidines are synthesized. What is IMP? It is inosine monophosphate. What is AMP? It is adenosine monophosphate. What is GMP? It is guanosine monophosphate. What is ATP? It is adenosine triphosphate. What is GTP? It is guanosine triphosphate. What is UMP? It is uridine monophosphate. UTP is uridine triphosphate. CTP is cytosine triphosphate, DUMP is deoxyuridine monophosphate, and DPP is deoxythymine triphosphate. Let us start with the purine biosynthesis. In last lecture, we finished our lecture at the synthesis of adenine and guanine. Now we will start from here the synthesis of adenine and guanine. After the synthesis of inosine monophosphate, Inosine monophosphate is converted into adenine as adenine monophosphate and guanine as guanine monophosphate. As you can see in this picture, inosine monophosphate, which is consist of 5 carbon sugar and the purine nucleotide base as well as phosphate bonds. So this inosine monophosphate, then it is used for the synthesis of adenine monophosphate and guanine monophosphate. Adenine monophosphate is different from inosine monophosphate that it is in replacement of its 6 keto group by amino group. This 6 keto sugar that is present in inosine monophosphate is replaced by this amino group, which is NH3. In case of adenine monophosphate, this 6 carbon keto sugar is replaced by this amino group. Ribose 5-phosphate remain as such, and this purine base is remained as such. Only this 6 member sugar is replaced by ammonia. Guanine monophosphate differs from inosine monophosphate on in the presence of an amino group at carbon number 2. Similarly, guanine monophosphate is differentiated from inosine monophosphate that the 6 carbon keto sugar is replaced by amino NH2 group. Here in adenine monophosphate also NH2 amino group. Here in guanine monophosphate also amino group is replaced with 6 keto sugar, and this amino group is replaced at carbon number 2. So both adenine monophosphate and guanine monophosphate are derived from inosine monophosphate. How these two are derived from inosine monophosphate? Let us see. Synthesis of adenosine monophosphate. Dear students, inosine monophosphate is converted into adenine monophosphate in 2 enzymatic steps. First one step is the donation of amino group by aspartate. As like in the previous step in the synthesis of inosine monophosphate, similarly here there are 2 steps for the synthesis of adenine monophosphate and guanine monophosphate. Adenine monophosphate is synthesized in 2 steps. First step is the donation of amino group by aspartate. Here in this picture you can see adenylosuccinate synthase enzyme work here, and donation of amino group by this aspartate takes place, plus GTP is converted into GTP plus PI, and we are successful for the formation of adenylosuccinate. Amino group of aspartate is enzymatically linked to inosine monophosphate at carbon number 6 of purine with the help of GTP hydrolysis to form adenylosuccinate. GTP hydrolysis occur and aspartate provide here amino group, and this amino group of aspartate is enzymatically linked to the inosine monophosphate, and adenylosuccinate synthase work here, and adenylosuccinate formation takes place in the first step of the synthesis of adenosine monophosphate. In second step, eliminate fumarate group to form adenine monophosphate. In the second step, what happened? We are successful in the formation of adenosine monophosphate. Here, adenylosuccinate lyase enzyme work, and the fumarate group is removed here, and adenosine monophosphate is formed. This fumarate group you can see in the green color is removed, and amino group is attached with this adenosine monophosphate, and 6 carbon sugar is already replaced from inosine monophosphate. In second step, there is the elimination of the fumarate group to form adenosine monophosphate. Adenylosuccinate is enzymatically converted to adenosine monophosphate by the removal of this fumarate group, and here the synthesis of adenosine monophosphate from inosine monophosphate is completed. and its structure you can see in this picture. Now, how the synthesis of guanine monophosphate takes place from inosine monophosphate. Inosine monophosphate is converted into guanine monophosphate in two enzymatic steps, similarly as adenosine monophosphate synthesis takes place. What happened in the first step? In first step, dehydrogenation of inosine monophosphate takes place. You can see inosine monophosphate dehydrogenase enzyme work here, and NAD plus water is removed and it is converted into NADH plus H. Dehydrogenation of both occurs. NAD plus is converted into NADH and water is replaced by H plus. Dehydrogenation of inosine monophosphate takes place in the first step. Inosine monophosphate is enzymatically dehydrogenated to form xanthosine monophosphate. Xanthosine monophosphate is synthesized in the first step from inosine monophosphate. What happened in the second step? In second step, amidation of xanthosine monophosphate takes place. As I have already told you, both in adenine monophosphate and guanine monophosphate, 6-keto sugar or 6-carbon sugar is replaced by amino group. So in second step, there is the attachment of amino group at carbon number 2 of guanine monophosphate. Here amidation of xanthosine monophosphate takes place in the second step, and xanthosine monophosphate is amidated with the amide group from glutamine with the presence of water and hydrolysis of ATP, that yielding guanine monophosphate. Here glutamate provide amino group. ATP and water are utilized. Both are converted into AMP plus VPI. Glutamine is converted into glutamate, and GMP synthesis enzyme work here, and we are successful in the formation of guanine monophosphate from inosine monophosphate, or synthesis of guanine monophosphate is successfully taken place from inosine monophosphate. Dear students, after detailed discussion of the de novo pathway of purine synthesis, now we briefly discuss about salvage pathway of purine biosynthesis. A salvage pathway is pathway in which biological product is produced from intermediates in the degradative pathway of its own or similar substances. A salvage pathway, similarly to de novo pathway, is a pathway in which the biological product is produced from intermediates in the degradative pathway of its own or similar substances. This pathway is different from de novo synthesis because in de novo synthesis fresh and new products are formed by using the substances or various byproducts, but here in salvage pathway biological product is produced from intermediates or precursors that are produced in the degradation of nucleotides, or for example, let's suppose proteins are synthesized from amino acids, but when proteins are degraded into amino acids, these amino acids are again utilized and again combined in by the formation of peptide bond, and again proteins are produced. Similarly, breakdown products of nucleotides are again utilized, or degraded products of nucleotides are again utilized in salvage pathway for the formation of new nucleotides, or intermediate products or wasted products or extra or byproducts or precursors are again unite or joined to form the new nucleotides or help out in the synthesis of new nucleotides in salvage pathway. The term is often referred to as nucleotide salvage. It is in particular in which the nucleotides, both purines and pyrimidines, are synthesized from intermediates in their degradative pathway. This term is also known as nucleotide salvage, in which both purines and pyrimidines are synthesized from intermediates that are produced in their degradation pathways. Nucleotide salvage pathways are used to recover bases and nucleosides that are formed during degradation of RNA and DNA. During degradation of RNA and DNA, recovered bases and nucleosides that are formed are again utilized for the synthesis of DNA and RNA new nucleotides. This is important in some organs because some tissues cannot undergo de novo synthesis. Dear students, there are some tissues present in the body that are not undergo de novo synthesis, that are not help out in the synthesis or de novo path, that are not properly suitable for the de novo synthesis pathway adoption for the synthesis of new nucleotides, so they adopt the pathway of salvage. The salvage products can then be converted back into nucleotides. Salvage pathways are targets for drug development, one family being called antifoliates. Dear students, there is one family of drug development known as antifoliates. Here the salvage pathways are targets for drug development. So salvage pathway is not only pathway for the synthesis of new nucleotides, but also salvage pathways are targets for drug development of one family known as antifoliate family. A number of other biologically important substances like methionine and nicotinates have their own salvage pathways to recycle parts of their molecules. Dear students, there are a number of other biologically important substances like methionine and nicotinates that have their own salvage pathways to recycle various parts of their molecules. These both substances have their own salvage pathways, they have their own pathway for the synthesis as well as degradation of nucleotides or the formation of methionine and nicotinate. In spite of the common salvage pathway, they have their own cycles of salvage pathways. So, what is the salvage pathway of purine synthesis? Purines can be generated in the cells by salvage pathways. Turnover of nucleosides or degraded products of nucleic acids in most cells, particularly in ribonucleic acids, releases adenine, guanine, and hypoxanthine. Turnover or degradation of nucleic acids, particularly ribonucleic acids in most cells, releases adenine, guanine, and hypoxanthine nucleotides, or nitrogenous bases. These nitrogenous bases are again utilized for the formation of new nucleotides. These free purines like adenine, guanine, and hypoxanthine are reconverted to their corresponding nucleotides through salvage pathways. These products are released as a byproducts or degradative products or turnout products of nucleosides are again reconverted to their corresponding nucleotides through salvage pathways. The salvage pathways are diverse in different organisms, in contrast to the de novo purine nucleotide synthetic pathway, which is virtually identical in all cells. Dear students, the salvage pathways are diverse in different organisms. Different organisms utilize salvage pathways in different ways. Salvage pathways are not identical or the same for the synthesis of new nucleotides, but they vary from organism to organism, as contrast to de novo purine nucleotide synthetic pathway, which is the same or similar or identical in all of the cells. In all of the cells where de novo synthesis takes place, it adopt the same pathway, same byproducts, and same precursors or same basic substances or materials for the synthesis of nucleotides. But in salvage pathway, it varies from organism to organism, or it varies from biochemical cycle to biochemical cycle, or depends upon the degraded products which are utilizing for the formation of new nucleotides. Purines are salvaged by two different enzymes in mammals. adenine phosphoribosyltransferase. I again repeat, adenine phosphoribosyltransferase, or briefly abbreviated as APRT enzyme, which mediates adenosine monophosphate formation during or by using PRPP. Purines are salvaged or utilized by two different enzymes in mammals. One enzyme is phosphoribosyltransferase PRPP, and adenine joined with PRPP to form adenosine monophosphate with the formation of PPI. Adenine phosphoribosyltransferase APRT, which mediates or which starts out adenosine monophosphate formation by using PRPP. Dear students, as I name the enzyme APRT, adenine phosphoribosyltransferase, act here, and adenine byproducts plus PRPP join to form adenosine monophosphate in the presence of enzyme adenine phosphoribosyltransferase. You can see the adenine gets salvaged along with PRPP by using the enzyme phosphoribosyltransferase, and the formation of adenosine monophosphate takes place successfully by using this enzyme. Second enzyme is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyltransferase. Hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyltransferase, or briefly abbreviated as HGPRT, which catalyze the analogous reaction for both hypoxanthine and guanine. This enzyme work or catalyze two reactions for both hypoxanthine and guanine. This enzyme catalyzes the hypoxanthine joined with PRPP to the formation of inosine monophosphate, and guanine plus PRPP get catalyzed by the presence of HGPRT, and the synthesis of guanine monophosphate takes place in the presence of this enzyme. So both these enzymes APRT and HGPRT play an important role for the salvage of adenine, hypoxanthine and guanine, and their conversion into adenine monophosphate, inosine monophosphate and guanine monophosphate. And these adenine monophosphate, inosine monophosphate and guanine monophosphate, these three are nucleotides that can get easily synthesis in salvage pathway by using these two enzymes. Phosphoribosyltransferases add activated ribose 5-phosphate or phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate or PRPP to bases, creating nucleoside monophosphates, as I already told you. So there are two types of phosphoribosyltransferases: adenine phosphoribosyltransferase APRT, or there are two types of enzymes or phosphoribosyltransferases. One is adenine diphosphoribosyltransferase APRT, and second is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyltransferase or HGPRT. HGPRT is an important enzyme in purine pathway metabolism, and one important thing related with it is that its deficiency is implicated in Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. Its deficiency can cause the syndrome of genetic material known as Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, or its deficiency can cause a disease in an organism or newly born child known as Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. We will discuss in the next lecture in detail. The parasite Plasmodium falciparum relies exclusively on purine salvage pathway for its purine nucleotide requirements. Dear students, there is an example of the animal's smallest parasite known as Plasmodium falciparum, which totally relies on salvage pathway photosynthesis of purine, and it do not undergo de novo pathway or it do not use de novo pathway photosynthesis of its purines. Thus, enzymes constituting the purine salvage pathways in the parasite are potential targets for drug discovery. So, the enzyme constituting the purine salvage pathway in parasites, they might be the potential targets for drug discovery systems. 5-nucleotidases catalyze the hydrolysis of purines, mononucleotides to their respective nucleosides and phosphates. The nucleosides are taken up in the cells by transporters and are funneled through the salvage pathway. Dear students, the nucleosides, they are taken up by the transporter enzymes or biomolecules, and these are funneled or salvaged through salvage pathways and helpful in the synthesis of purine like adenine monophosphate, guanine monophosphate, and inosine monophosphate, etc. If the nucleoside is adenosine, it is acted upon by adenosine deaminases to convert it into inosine. If there is a nucleoside is adenosine, it is acted upon by adenosine deaminase enzyme and convert it into inosine monophosphate. This metabolite is in turn is acted upon by purine nucleoside phosphorylase enzyme. This metabolite, which is inosine, is acted upon by purine nucleoside phosphorylase and it is converted into hypoxanthine. This hypoxanthine is further acted upon by HGXPRT, hypoxanthine guanine xanthine phosphoribosyl transferase enzyme in the parasite to convert the respective nucleobases to its nucleotide monophosphates respectively, like inosine monophosphate, guanine monophosphate, or xanthine monophosphate. So it is a long chain reaction of the conversion of the one product into other product or one precursor into other product with the presence of enzymes. Hypoxanthine is acted upon by GXPRT, also known as hypoxanthine guanine xanthine phosphoribosyl transferases in the parasite to convert the respective nucleobase to its nucleotide monophosphates, respectively known as inosine monophosphate, guanine monophosphate, or xanthine monophosphate. If it's inosine monophosphate, this is subsequently acted upon by adenylosuccinate synthase, and adenylosuccinate lysis in a two-steps process, as I have already told you briefly with the equation that if it is inosine monophosphate, this is subsequently acted upon by adenylosuccinate synthase enzyme and adenylosuccinate lyase enzyme. Both these enzymes helpful in conversion of inosine monophosphate into adenine monophosphate in two steps process respectively. On the contrary, or on the other way, inosine monophosphate can also be acted upon by inosine monophosphate dehydrogenase enzyme and guanine monophosphate synthesis enzyme to convert it into guanine monophosphate. So, if adenylosuccinate synthase enzyme work, there is the production of adenine monophosphate, but if on inosine monophosphate guanine monophosphate synthase enzyme acted or worked on it, it converted into guanine monophosphate. So it depends upon the enzyme or catalyst that helpful in the conversion of inosine monophosphate either into adenine monophosphate or into guanine monophosphate. Dear students, these are the references or books references or website references from which the synthesis of purine or synthesis of nucleotides and both the pathways de novo and salvage pathways have been taken out. You can also browse these websites. You can also study these books for the updated material, for the updated information about the synthesis of purines, pyrimidines, about the de novo and salvage pathway for the synthesis of purines and pyrimidines. Thank you for listening me. Good luck and Allah Hafiz.